Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. My name is Justin, and we just had James Bullard talk on CNBC, giving a lot of headlines. We're going to go through that in a moment here. So today we're doing something a little bit different, where we're going to be uploading this video to YouTube after, and I have a contest for you guys where we're going to do a prize. James Bullard is right here, and you can see there's a big empty spot beside his head. What we're going to do is a contest for caption this video. Drop a comment after the video's done. And the best caption, meaning the one with the most likes, is going to receive a coupon code like we were doing before. So who is this guy and why does it matter? So James Bullard spoke last Thursday, and he provided a lot of hawkish commentary where the market took a 2% leg down. And then on Friday, we had continuation with headlines from Russia and Ukraine. So this guy is Captain Buzzkill. That's what I'm calling him. And he seems like a huge mouthpiece for the Fed. What he keeps saying over and over and over is, defer to the chair, defer to the chair, defer to the chair. So what does that mean? This guy's just talking. He's just running his mouth. So what we're going to go through here for about 2 minutes is go through specifically what he said, what it means. And then at the end of the video, Mason and I will both talk about our point of view, give you a back and forth. So make sure to watch all the way through to the end. And if you're currently watching on the private stream, just let us know if you have a question. As a reminder, go to the help desk, ask it in there to get our attention. All right. And again, if you wouldn't mind also smashing the thumbs up if you're watching the video after the fact, that would be highly appreciated. James Bullard says last four inflation reports show it broadening, justifies a 100 basis point policy increase by July. Bullard repeats, like to see 100 basis points by July, defer to the chair. Bullard says up to Chair Powell to decide on timing of rate hikes. What does he keep saying? What we said on the weekend, defer to the chair. So this guy's, he's just running his mouth. I think my plan is a good one. Need to convince my colleagues. If you guys are watching the private stream, drop me 1 if you think his plan is good, or 2 if he is a total clown. All right, moving forward. Bullard, big picture is inflation is much higher than expected. Breaking news, inflation's high. Thanks, Bullard. Inflation reports since October have called into question the idea price increases will moderate without Fed action. It's like he's there's no savior without him. He's saying, you need me. I was right the whole time. As he was speaking, U.S. rate futures imply 66% chance of Fed rising or raising rates by 50 basis point at March meeting after Bullard Fed Watch. What does that mean? There's a 2/3 chance that we're now going to get a 50 basis point hike instead of 0.25. U.S. 10-year yield touches session high, last at 1.98. So again, the 10-year note is taking an advance based on his comments. Bullard, rise in short yields, helping Fed policy to contain inflation. Bullard, initial phase of Fed tightening should be relatively painless. I'm happy he thinks so. I don't know if I agree. Bullard, I'm a little more worried we're not moving fast enough. Okay. Fed will be in a pickle if inflation does not moderate in the second half of the year. Need to position for that possibility now. Bullard, Fed should be prepared for asset sales if needed. There you go. So what's the net effect here? Well, in the futures market, again, we're looking at this because it just tells us what's happening as it ebbs and flows. We're going to remove all the lines and see what happened here. We actually got headlines from the Russian foreign minister talking about how we could actually come to an amicable resolution. What happens? Whoop, we go straight up. And then James Bullard talks right back down. So that's where we sit right now. We're roughly 4,400 or 4,396 on SPY. And he was specifically asked a question about, do you know that when you talk, the market listens? And he's like, the market moves up and down and all around. I don't know. I'm telling you my plan is good. He seems like a robot. He seems like what Sean said earlier on the weekend is that he sounds like an emotional retail trader where he doesn't really know what he's doing. And he seems to just be winging it. So as we look forward here to the next section of the video, we can see that ES or the E-mini futures are currently settling here. We're currently funneling lower. So we can see those double downtrends, the blue lines. We're bouncing off the lower downtrend. We're trying to reclaim the low from Friday. And as of right now, we're down by 0.15. Not all that bad. We're going to move forward here to NQ. And on NQ or the NASDAQ futures, here's where things look a little bit less pretty. This is not a nice chart. It's already breaking bearish, and we've lost a double downtrend. So that's a hard rejection on Friday. And it is a higher low here. We can technically draw a new uptrend, but like, oof, that's a rough chart. Mason's going to give us update here in a moment as well. And that's what I'm seeing on the charts right now. As a reminder, there will be a video from yesterday if you want to watch my deep dive on the technical analysis for the weekend. And there will also be the follow-up for the emergency Fed meeting, and that'll be available on the channel. All right. I think that's pretty much it. So Mason, if you want to come on and present your NQ levels and what you're noticing out there, please do so.
Morning, everybody. Good morning, Justin. How's it going, guys? Yeah, just let me pull up my NASDAQ chart here. As Justin mentioned, we kind of went over this last week, guys. We're in this 1400 pocket, which we know was a big test of that low pivot area we were talking about. We really have to be cautious around this area, as Justin mentioned, because we're still funneling lower. Main levels to watch this morning are basically 1400 flat, 14150 I'm watching, and 14270. Until we're above 14270, I don't really have much confidence in the bulls. But this candle here is that Bullard slam, kind of like you saw on ES futures that Justin was showing you. So just keep in mind we're at risk here, but this can be a potential low pivot if the bulls can hold it. Something I am watching out for. Yeah, let's talk Bullard, Justin. What a guy, eh? 100 BPS
right.
just first thing.
Well, he's saying 100 by July. So he's saying we
Right?
should be at 100 basis points by July. So again, I'm going to caption this video. He's basically saying, I got small hands, right? So what is he saying? He's talking. That's like guys who drive a big truck. Everyone knows when a guy drives a big truck and he's honking his horn and he's being loud. What does it mean? He's got a small PP. So I think that's what James got here. He's got a small little PP. And I think it's actually very interesting because he's been saying the same thing for a long time, but now the market actually finally cares because now we can actually affect policy. I have one more picture actually I want to pull up, and this is what he used to look like, right? That's a young James Bullard. Look at this guy. He's got big old bags under his eyes. He doesn't look like a hawk at all. He looks like I don't even know what he looks like, a pigeon. He doesn't look like a hawk. So I think that the market got caught off guard on Thursday, and the algo started generating sells based on the headlines, and it just took it down. That lack of liquidity in the market right now is definitely being exacerbated or right fuel to the fire to the downside. So today he spoke in pre-market, and what's going to be most interesting is how we're going to go through for the rest of the week. So I mentioned this on Slack. I think I mentioned it briefly in the video. I thought he was going to walk back his rhetoric. I thought he was going to try to plant the seed, see what happened, basically see if the chair or Jerome Powell got the desired effect without him actually uttering the words. Why? Because if Jerome says it, now it's real. And the Fed has huge credibility issues right now. What I talked about when I presented my bear market 2022 thesis was the same thing that happened in the Volcker era, where they were battling raising rates with recession at the same time. It's the exact same predicament that federal chair Jerome Powell's in right now. In 2018, he raised and then lowered interest rates, and now we're in that same predicament, but now we have a recession that's looming. So I don't know what's going to happen, and we pretty much have every major speaker talking this week. We had San Francisco Chair Daly speaking, I believe it was on Saturday, and she said that if we hike too soon, we could derail the economy. So we got the hawk camp over here, we got the dove camp, and Jerome's still in the middle. So he's still the voice of reason. And ironically, I think that when we look at other risk assets like a crypto, like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, they're not really trading the way they used to be. We can see they're actually ticking higher here. So what that means for me is that I think we kind of hit peak fear, at least for the short-term cycle here, where we took a cue to go down. We sold the hype, and now we're buying the news. He's like, this guy didn't say anything else. He's just saying the same thing as before. Defer to the chair, defer to the chair. So I think that the market's already done the overreaction to the downside. We sold the hype, and now we have a chance to buy the news. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the downside is, at least on some names, is definitely extended. I think with this week in specific coming up, with all the FOMC and the Fed speakers, I think people should just be aware that it's kind of for experienced traders, best put. And if you are trading, make sure you're respecting your stops because it's probably going to be choppy. I don't think it's going to be an easy week with all these speakers and still quite a few earnings too. It's not going to be the easiest.
Add on the geopolitical uncertainty.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a recipe for a very bad week.
Yeah.
So again, what we would encourage you to do is just have a look here. This is like an earnings week for the Fed, where we have Fed every day. Today, we got the meeting happening at 11:30. That's that closed door meeting. I don't know if we're going to get headlines from that, but if we will, it'll be after 11:30. We got the Fed minutes from January coming out on Wednesday. We got more speakers on Thursday. We got OPEX on Friday, and then Fed speakers to wrap it up on Friday as well. So what we want to leave you with is just making sure you understand today is only Monday, and this week is likely going to be tough. So if the wheels are in motion, we will only find out by Friday close if the Bulls are going to defend or if the Bears are going to clinch a victory like the Rams did at the Super Bowl on the weekend. So as we're signing off here, just a reminder that we would appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel, these videos will be published every single day going forward. And drop us a comment. Again, let us know what caption you think is most appropriate for this man right here, James Bullard, the St. Louis president for the Fed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.